It's Pyjamarama, but Roxy music fans better tune out now. Pyjamarama is a 1984 game from Mikro-Gen. Going to start off on the Spectrum. Stars Wally Week, star of, well, previously to this, Automania, and later on, Everyone's a Wally, 3 Weeks in Paradise. Herbert's Dummy Run is a spin-off of this as well. Wally has fallen asleep. Basically, you're now living in a nightmare inside your own house and you have to wake yourself up. That's basically it. It's a bit like Jet Set Willy, where your entire house has gone a bit nuts. So you have to get the key to your alarm clock in order to wake yourself up. So you have to solve puzzles. It's a wandering around solve puzzles type of game. Years before games like Dizzy came out, I always thought Dizzy was influenced by this. So we saw back there are some plants who look a little bit lively, and a fuel can. Now what we want to do is pacify the plants, and what we're going to do that with is, and the clue is in the top right hand corner there, the water bucket is empty. This is a Spectrum, by the way, the original version. So we have to make our way to the bathroom. C64 version. This game came out on the C64 CPC and the Spectrum. The Amstrad version came out via Amsoft, not directly via Mikro-Gen. And the house is fairly big. There's 3 floors as well as a moon level and some bits down in the kind of cellar, and where you go via the roof down into a kind of weird bit. So essentially kind of, if you map this game out in the code, I bet you there's just kind of, it does work out as 3 floors and the other stuff's off to one side. To activate some things in the game, you need to activate the arrows like we just did there with the lift. And here we are next to what is nearly the library on the left, and then the lift room, which we'll see in a bit. Most of the objects in the game do absolutely nothing at all, so the key is to get the right objects. Amstrad version, distributed via Amsoft. And the Amstrad version has a nice attract mode. I think some of the other versions have an attract mode as well. So we're carrying a round key and a radio, which we've swapped the radio for a door handle. The radio and door handle do absolutely nothing. There's the plants. We need that can. Forwarded it on, we've got the bucket, and we're going to go to the bathroom and fill the bucket up. Various things around the house sap your energy. You have 3 lives, and your energy also depletes the longer you walk around. Walk past a tap in the bathroom, our bucket is now full. So there you go, you walk into the room with the full bucket, and the plants are now static, and that's all you need to do. You deactivated them. We've now got the fuel can, which is empty, so we need to fill that up. So there's a little bit of putting objects together. We're going to the lift room here. Now you have to jump up and activate the light to the floor you want to go to, or the area you want to go to. I said there's 3 floors in the game. Perhaps there's 4. Perhaps there's 4. Or no, I think the lift oh yeah, that happens a bit as well. A random fist comes out of the wall and punches you, and you lose energy. Anyway, you need the round key to get into there. And then there's a triangle key over there, so we can ditch the round key. The rocket takes you to the moon. Yes, really. But we need fuel in the can before we can do that. And as you can see, the lift room actually takes us around to the other side of that. So I think there is 3 floors, but one of the room things in the lift room just switches you either side of that particular room there. At the end there, it says smash glass. Remember that for when you see a hammer, because you're going to need that fire extinguisher. Here we are. I think this is the attic. And there we can get the fuel. The fuel can is now full. If you haven't played the game before, you'll end up doing this twice. Over to the Spectrum. Through the bathroom. It is kind of Clash City, I'm afraid, on the Specky. Now, if you're losing energy and you need some extra lives, there's a way in the game to get some extra lives. There's a built-in mini game. And yes, you do have to jump up at the doors to go through them. It's Space Invaders. If you complete 10 waves in the video games room, you get an extra life. That said, on the Amstrad version, this is the Spectrum version at the moment, the Spectrum version and the C64 versions are harder because you've got more aliens to deal with. Here we are on the 64. Set the specky without colour clash, really. It's quite annoying you have to jump up at the doors, and there you go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 rows, 30 aliens to kill, whereas on the CPC 4, 8, there's only 12. So it's actually much easier to get an extra life on the CPC. I think it's about 10 waves. These are the last wave. Kill these two, and bingo, extra life. Incredibly handy, especially in the Amstrad version. Keep near to the edges when you're about to kill the last alien, because if you're in the middle, when they all respawn, you'll get lots of objects suddenly thrown at you and you will lose energy. I have lost a little bit of energy here, but I should survive. The other thing to remember is the game will remember what stage you were at in the video games room. So if, say, you got halfway through and you gave up, you can resume from where you were. Quite handy if you accidentally jump out of the room. That room there where you were sleeping, you just saw, that's the alarm clock we need to get the key for. So we need to swap the pound coin for a penny, because the penny lets you in the bathroom. But you can't just walk past the change thing there. You need to actually activate the helper icon up on the table as well. We've done that. Now we walk past. Our pound coin should, come on, change for a penny. Come on. Lost a life there. And you rise to the ceiling. Right, should be able to swap that pound coin for a penny. There we did it that time. What has changed? What has changed? I imagine in real life as though you're taller than this, because Wally is just making sure I'm covering my northern and southern bases there. Wally is quite small, so I'm imagining in real life he's bigger, but you're in your dreams. So now that room there, I think you need something. There's a library ticket up there. I think you need to get the library book to get in there. But this is the bathroom you need the penny to get into, and that's where you get the hammer from. And now we can smash the fire extinguisher in the lift room here. I've forwarded it on. Being careful not to get hit by the darts. Come on, there we go. Took 2 attempts at that. I now have the extinguisher, and I'm going to need that. You won't complete this game on your first attempt. There's a few things you need to discover before you can complete the game. So up on the roof on the Spectrum version, having escaped out the window, now you're going to see why we need the fire extinguisher. We go down the chimney, and we're into the chimney, and look, there's things dropping down, and there's fire. Now, if you don't have the fire extinguisher, you drop into there, and you basically die. Don't hang around on this screen, a giant ball will come through for no reason and squash you. And here's a little factoid for you that I stole from Wikipedia. Apparently this was awarded Game of the Month in the November 1984 issue of Personal Computer Games. The other game reviewed that month that didn't get Game of the Month happened to be the BBC Micro version of Elite. Back to the lift room, the most important room in the game. Make a note of where each lift takes you. We can now jump in the rocket. But wait, we can't get past those aliens, so we've got to go back. What we need is a laser gun. And if we get a laser gun, the aliens will rise up into the sky and you can walk past them. We will now need to refill our fuel can as well. Yes, there's a bit of walking around in Pyjamarama, back to the C64, but it's not as bad as Dizzy Games because the map's more compact. But there is a lot more around to kill you. Into the attic rooms on C64 version. You've got to avoid those baddies there. Timing is everything. And that's where you get your fuel from. But also, the next room along here, and I can't get into it at the moment because I need the triangle key, I think. That's where the battery pack for the laser gun is once you've got the laser gun. There's some food down there. Oh, but I've suffered quite badly by picking that up. Same screen on Spectrum version, but I have the triangle key this time. And that means I can now go through this screen and I can pick up the battery, which I need for the laser gun. Avoiding the wait. It's a logical game to play. The trouble is there's so many MacGuffins in the game that there's a lot of trial and error. My friends and I, when we used to play this, we could get as far as getting to the moon. But I don't think we ever got as far as getting the laser gun to get past the aliens. There was a lot of figuring out of what to do. And I've fallen through here, and it's a shortcut to a lift. I mean, why walking through barrels helps, I don't know. My laser gun is full, my fuel can is being full refilled as well. And off we go, and lo and behold, the aliens are now up in the sky. The moon crystal is another MacGuffin, you don't need it. We can leave the laser gun here. We now need to get through this door at the end, walking in slow motion, because of course it's zero gravity. Well, what's that? Right, I've never been in this screen before. This, I think that is the... Oh, I'm dead. I think that's the key for the alarm clock. I've seen people complete this game in about 18 minutes. But you need to know where everything is. So I think I need to go back to Earth again, which means I need to refill the fuel again. Don't leave the fuel can on the moon, because otherwise you'll never get back. There's a lot to remember. There's a lot of dead ends that could leave you absolutely stuffed and having to start again. And I won't need the key again. Right, I can leave the gun there as well, actually. It doesn't matter. Right, so I've got the magnet from the kitchen, which is near the start of the game, and I'm up here now, and that has, well, deactivated the magnetic lock. And there we go. Jet Set Willy gets a lot of heat about how he can freely wander around a house, but Pyjamarama does pretty much the same thing, but arguably in a more attractive manner with larger graphics, but it's just not... I suppose because it's a smaller map and it's less... Well, Jet Set Willy's not forgiving, but there's so many different ways you can explore. The Jet Set Willy's almost an open world game. And Pyjamarama isn't. You don't really want to explore for fun. Although I still find a thrill when there's a room you haven't been in before. And you go, oh, I haven't been in here. Right, we've got the clock key now. Just watching my timing. Upstairs now, I forwarded it on. Into the bedroom. And there we go. Took about 25 minutes for me to do that. But I think it can be done in about 5 minutes, less than that. If you're not messing around and getting things wrong. Congratulations, Wally's woken up. For the first time in his life, he'll be early for work. Now watch out for the life of Wally. I don't think that was the next game, was? I'm not sure. Did that one ever come out? Don't know. Pyjamarama is a game that doesn't get much heat on the 8-bit scene, and it's a bit of a shame. People tend to remember things like Jet Set Willy and Dizzy, but Pyjamarama has better graphics and it's a tighter game overall because it has less locations. Unfortunately, it is incredibly unforgiving and there are just so many MacGuffins and useless objects in the game. In most Dizzy games, for example, most objects you come across are useful. In this, perhaps only 25% of the objects in the game are actually of any use at all. The puzzles are logical, and there's a great thrill when you get to another room that you haven't seen before. Because of the compact map, there's not too much walking around either, although there's still a little bit of toing and froing, especially when you consider that you're probably going to have to refuel 3 times to get to the moon for the various puzzles if you don't know if you haven't been there before and you don't know the objects you automatically need to take with you, if you see what I mean. All the versions are pretty close really. The CPC version is just a little bit too slow, but that said, if that's all you've ever played, you're not going to notice. Certainly it never bothered me back on my 6128 when I had this. Graphically all very similar. The Spectrum version is colour clash hell, but it's the early days of Spectrum gaming, so you can rather forgive it. Overall, Pyjamarama is a bit of a forgotten classic really, surpassed by other later games, but still an interesting game to look at all these years later.